Now, listen, you guys, Advolvo BBL has finally, revealed the features that are going to be on her album. And we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to be talking about her fans reacting to the said features. And some of them do feel like, well, they are underwhelming. We're also going to be talking about the J Hart interview, as well as, that entire Rowland, Spotify interview that they had as well. And on the other hand, she's out there crying foul because she is revealing that, well, certain female rappers were out there laying down with her men. And she's like, these girls will repay your kindness with nothing. And I'm like, does this remind you of another person who was saying this about, the female rap energy? We will talk about that. And we're also going to be talking about Nicki Minaj allegedly having an album out next year in March. And at the same time, Iggy Azalea and Akademiks, there's some sort of, I don't know, that's go situation that is going on between those two. And these are some of the things that we will be discussing in this video. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the tea plug. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great, you guys. I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. So, first of all, let us talk about this entire Kelly Rowland and the Transformer interview. Now, first of all, when they announced that, well, they're going to be interviewing each other for Spotify, of course, people were like, this must mean that Beyonce is on the album. Because you guys do know that Kelly is often sent as like the John the Baptist when Beyonce is about to show up. I'm just saying, so people thought like the reason why Kelly is doing the interviewing is because they are teasing a Destiny Child feature on the Transformers album and all of these things. And personally, I never really bought into it because what I've actually learned to realize nowadays is that there is a hierarchy when it comes to people that surround the title swindler. Okay, when things are less important, that's where the bongo twos are sent. If it's a collaboration, if it's a performance, you remember the Kamala Harris situation. If things are less important, they run to the lower level tier, which has the likes of Bongo 2 in terms of popularity. Obviously, we have the likes of Bongo 2, some of these other rappers, and then there is another tier which has Kelly Rowland, and Michelle is together with Bongo 2. I'm just kidding, you guys, but all I'm saying is I really didn't think that that entire Kelly interview means that Beyonce is somewhere on that album. That woman is very particular about who she works with. She just doesn't come out here and say, oh, we have a common enemy, now I'm gonna be on your album. Especially now that there are certain people or signs that she's now aligning herself with. I mean, the Transformer was out there just saying, Shramp said. So, so I'm sure Beyonce wouldn't want Trump to see. I'm just kidding, you guys. But anyway, yeah, they had that cute interview with Kelly Rowland, and I personally never thought that means that the Transformer is gonna be there. But do I think that it's strategic that Fraudulent Nation sent Kelly to do the interview? Of course, I mean, yeah, she couldn't get Beyonce, so I guess she had to settle for Kelly Rowland. Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about, let us talk about the J Hard entrance, okay? They make a little song, when the celebrities come in and all of these things. They did the same for the Transformer. Beautiful, beautiful. The song was about her always having number ones, his records stay in the top 10, whatever they were singing about. Although I do beg to differ in as much as, the recent events and happenings have been like, in as far as the music is concerned, it's okay, we'll let her have that. People kind of noticed the belly. You guys do know that well. She recently came out and said that she doesn't have a belly and she, popped out a fake belly. So I don't know with how the stomach is protruding right now. I don't know if she wore the fake belly for what exactly, to get buzz around the album. I do not know. Seriously, at this point I don't know, because you can, I'm one to say that when it comes to women's bodies, especially natural organs like the stomach that typically grow when you give birth and stuff like that, I'm not the one to come for those parts, unless of course if you do go under the knife. I can talk about that because that's no longer just God's creation, it's your doctor's creation. So I don't feel as bad talking about your doctor's creations, because at the end of the day, your doctor is a mere mortal just like me. But if it's your natural stomach, I'm kind of hesitant of talking about it. So with this one, I'm just like, at this point, I don't know, you guys. What? Let me know what you think about that, Tammy. Do you think that she's pregnant, or do you think that these are publicity stunts just so she can get some form of buzz around her album, which would be pathetic if you ask me? But anyway, let us move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Still talking about her. She was out there crying, you guys. And, she was talking about, how people were out there laying down with Offset even after she would be very nice and kind to them, and it was specifically the new girlies. She said she had a habit to reach out to them. I mean, each time people would be mean or would say that you're not talented and stuff like that, and she would go and tell them that it gets better. They should know that it always gets better. They shouldn't worry themselves about it. But then the very same girls would actually go behind her back to lay down with her man, and up to now she has not released the names of those women. So that gets me wondering, is that a real story or is that made up? Because we all know that she prides herself in, not holding her tongue and stuff like that. She has done worse things. She has called people out of their names, like called people roaches and all of these things. She has no problem calling out Joe Biden. She has no problem calling out Bia. She has no problem calling out all these other girls. But all of a sudden, she doesn't have the strength to call out the female rappers who were laying down with her husband. So, do you guys think that's an actual story, or do you think this is sympathy, a sympathy campaign of some sort? And do you sympathize with her? Is there anyone who was out there watching Love and Hip Hop back in the day, and how she would do that girl? What was her name? Asia. You remember that girl? Was she British? You remember the girl with the bangs, the pretty girl, like gorgeous, gorgeous, and she would sit on top of the men's lap. Yeah, and people applauded for that, saying that she's so funny. So if you do consider how she was moving back in the day when it comes to other people's partners, do you then sympathize with her with whatever she's coming up with right now to say the girlies were out there laying down with her men or wanting to lay down with her men? So I also do realize that now she's beginning to see that the music industry is not all roses, and yeah, people can snake you out no matter how nice people are, no matter how nice you are to them. So I guess this lays to rest this whole situation where people are like, "Oh, Nikki falls out with everyone." Yeah, you can still be kind to someone, and they will turn around and dog you, and do you dirty. People do that. So if you're out there sympathizing with the Transformers, saying, "Oh, I was so kind to them, but they turned on me," why won't you sympathize with another person when they say the same thing about these female rap girlies? Why? But anyway, well, there you heard that, you guys. There you heard that. Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. There have been rumors online that Nicki Minaj is going to be dropping an album, and yeah, I don't know what to say about that, you guys. I don't know if I do believe that, because this account just came in and said Nicki Minaj new album March 27th, 2026. And where is that coming from? And I do feel like they were expecting Nicki Minaj to do something today, or around this woman's album, so that they can then garner sympathy for her. And Nicki is out there on hiatus, not paying anyone any mind. And now they are planting these little seeds to make it seem like Nicki Minaj announced an album the day that the Transformer revealed her features, just so they can create a conversation around, oh, she's so jealous, oh, she's so insecure. They love to play victim like that, because where is that coming from? And not to mention that several of those accounts actually deleted, I'm sorry, the tweets. So what was the reason for doing that? To get people talking and saying that Nikki's jealous of this girl. Like, what was that? It's very weird, if you ask me. That woman is out there minding a business, and you decide to do this. But anyway, still talking about the reveal of the features, people do feel like the features were underwhelming. And this is not coming from just me, but this is also coming from her fans. These are the features that are going to be on that album. There's Kesh Cobain, there's Jen Jackson, there's Kelani, there's Lizzo, there's Bongo Chu, there's Selena Gomez, there's Summer Walker, and there's Tyler. I will say that the Selena Gomez feature has me excited. I'm not even gonna lie about that. That has me excited. Bongo 2, I don't know if there's gonna be another song with Bongo 2 or if it's just WAP. Because you guys do know that they ended up adding the decade old songs, WAP and Up, to the album. So I don't know if the Megan the Stallion feature is a new feature or if it's the old one. But that being said, her fans are not pleased, and this is not me talking. When I look at this feature list, if I'm gonna be honest, it's not that bad. There's Tyler. Tyler is popping right now. Bongo 2, we already had that, I'm thinking. I think Tyler and Selena Gomez, I would be looking forward to those two. Summer Walker, a little bit. And it's not bad actually when you look at it, but her fans are not happy about this. I don't know, they were expecting Beyonce. I don't know who promised them Beyonce, because the thing is, when you have a fan base that is centered around humbling another person, that's not real support. Honestly, this is exactly what it is giving. They are so mad. They are livid. They're like, listen, I'm not even excited about the album anymore. I guess they were expecting to see a Beyonce in there. And meanwhile, she was just going on there to beg for for the Jay-Z sample and stuff like that. People really were expecting the Beyonce. And I do not understand why you would have a fan base that is centered at humbling another person. And I see this a lot with a lot of edgy babs. I'm sorry, just to talk about this as well. The so-called edgy babs, they get at Nicki Minaj because with them it's not even about the music. It's about she should do this, the era should be like this so that we can humble this person. Oh my god, it's almost like they just love Nicki Minaj so they can have bragging rights on the internet, which is crazy in my own opinion, which is why I will always respect, people that do support someone because they love their music, they love their craft. Because once your support is centered on do great numbers so I can brag, what is that even? And that's what majority of the fans are. As soon as they feel like she cannot beat Nicki Minaj, they give up. They get mad at her for that. And this should show you that without Nicki Minaj, yeah, these fans probably would not be going out there trying to, outdo, trying to support and all of these things. Like I said, if Nicki had sold 80K, we wouldn't be seeing anyone selling albums on the subway. I promise you that. But anyway, let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about that feature list. Do you think that it is not it? Or do you think that she tried her best? And do you think that it's gonna be a new song between her and Bongo 2? And Bongo 2 also posted about it on on her Instagram. You do know that the girlies like to play like they're super cool with each other and stuff like that. And I saw someone commenting that, listen, Bongo 2 will post this album to promote only for her to announce a new liquor line on the same day the album drops. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, you guys. And also Janet Jackson, that's interesting. I really want to see what that is gonna do. And Tyler too, is it gonna be like an ama piano type of thing? Anyway, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about DJ Akademiks and, of course, Iggy Azalea. It seems like they've got a little situation going on. I don't know if they're in a throuple or what exactly is going on amongst DJ Akademiks, Iggy Azalea, and Playboy Cardi. Like, I really don't know what's going on because I tried to follow. But for me, it was sounding like it's an entire lover's squabble. Like, I just couldn't. So from what I gathered, Iggy Azalea went on, on stream, and she was talking about Playboy. You know that she's always throwing shade. Typical baby mama, baby daddy situation drama. Okay, so that's what she was doing on that stream, and somehow Academics found offense in that because you do know that when it comes to his baby daddies, Academics does not play. If you want to see him mad, touch Drake, touch Carti, and then you're done with him. He does not like to see people that temper or play with any of his baby daddies. at all. So as usual, Akademiks went off and Iggy Azalea saying, well, she looks bitter, she sounds bitter. And mind you, this had nothing to do with the music. It was just Iggy Azalea shading her baby daddy and all of these things, not music related at all. But still, somehow, Akademiks decided to insert himself in that entire situation. And I guess after that, Iggy Azalea saw what Ak had to say and went to Akademiks and said, this man put me through this and that when I was pregnant. And he didn't want to exactly tell us what it is that Cardi did to Iggy. But I'm suspecting that it might have something to do with DV putting, hands on her, maybe. And Akademiks did not say anything. And then Iggy Azalea went back and said, listen, you still comment on what happened between me and my baby daddy, and when I'm mad you intervene. You might as well say all those things that I sent you. Why don't you talk about that? Because you are always quick to check me to say that I sound bitter and stuff like that, and I gave you my side. You didn't comment on that. But as soon as you hear me talking about that guy and these are issues between us that have got absolutely nothing to do with music, you come in to try and defend him. And Akademiks got mad at that, and that's when he decided to go on a rant and say, Iggy, you were very disrespectful to me because I don't care about what you guys have in your private life and stuff like that. All I care about is the music. I support people that unalive people. I don't care about these people's characters. The way Akademiks contradicts himself is insane. It's like 1 month he's being like, you're like, wow, this guy is actually logical, this is growth. And then the next the next month you're like, oh my god, here we go again, back to square zero, because he's very self-contradicting. There are certain people that he doesn't like, certain female rappers that he doesn't like because, well, their attitude stinks, their personal lives are like this. But when it comes to certain people, he's like, I don't care about their personal lives, all I care about is the music. So which one is it, Ak? And the fact that he started saying, oh, music, this, music, that, when initially what he commented on was, the private situation or the personal situation between Iggy and Playboy Carti. Because musically, why would Iggy be beefing with her baby daddy? You get what I'm saying? The only reason why Iggy would be speaking ill on that boy Playboy is because of their personal matters. So for you to weigh in on what Iggy is talking about in as far as that man is concerned, it means that it's not anything to do with music. But anyway, let me just insert you guys, what you had to say, and let me know what you think about that. Some people were also pointing out that he's very disrespectful when it comes to black women. They were, talking about Carisha and the energy that he had when it comes to Carisha. But when it comes to Iggy, he was addressing her, but he kept on saying, again, I have respect for you. Again, I have respect for you. And people were like, where's that energy? Where's the energy that you had for Carisha right now? Are you scared? But anyway, let me insert what he had to say, but I don't think that I'm going to be coming back after that. Thank you very much, you guys, for watching, and thank you very much for making it this far. If you have not already, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button and do turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time that I post. And until my next one, see you.
Business. But I just understand how I should address this. Number one, you're a female. You was talking really crazy in my DMs. I understand there's a lot of people who believe Akademiks only pick on females, so like that's already a bad look. I usually just give the smoke to whoever who brings smoke to me. I'm gonna be honest with you, Iggy. You must have been tripping, shorty. You DM me after I had commented about your stream with Neon, and you had made some very suggestive statements that was seemingly throwing shade at people you were previously with, and some people, but even including me, thought you were trying to take aim at your baby father, Playboy Cardi. Apparently, after I did my little soliloquy or a little monologue about what I feel that you might be going through, you felt triggered. You sent me a lot of shit. You've since blocked me because after, I let it sit for about 2 days and I said, I knew you was out of your mind. I don't know if you're, I don't know if, like, whatever you're going through, I don't know if you're in therapy. I don't know what you got going on, but usually people don't bark up the tree of academics unless they want pure hell drama and mayhem. That's what usually comes. It's not the place where you're like, oh, this is going to be a great time. I want to show the people what you messaged me, and it says Saturday. This is you, Iggy. Saturday. I want people to be able to see it. I don't know if you can see it, but it says Saturday. I just want to scroll. This is Iggy. Yes, this is all what she sent to me. A whole lot of shit. Shorty, I'm going to give you the grace still because I ignored you for a day and a half and then you responded back when you see I left you on red for 2 days and you were very disrespectful. I want to be very clear with you. Like, whatever you and Playboy Cardi got going on as a familial matter, I don't care about. I respect Playboy Cardi as an artist. And I know you might think, because you keep referencing a friendship that me and him have. And I don't know what you think I could do or what I affect. But I just want to be like, yo, hey, listen. I want to stay out of y'all familial matters. And I also kind of realize that the things that you've told me in this message before you blocked me was probably you were trying to use me to try to get this man canceled because you told me very criminal things about him. You told me very evil things about him. You made allegations about him that I've never heard you say online. And I don't know why you would tell me, because the things you would tell me, I don't think you should tell a blogger. You should tell the police. The things you told me, I don't think you should tell a blogger. I think you should tell your truth. But you instead divulged a lot of things that made him seem like a really evil person. I understand you guys are broken up and it's none of my business. But I just want to tell you, the disrespect and the tone you came at with me in my DMs, I don't care what you got going on. And I don't care who your baby daddy is. And I don't care who you picked your baby daddy to be and what y'all got going on in your family life. I usually don't give a fuck about that. I like him as a rapper. I love him as a person. But that don't got nothing to do with you thinking you could talk to me like I'm his homeboy. I'm not here to be an emotional sponge. And I was going to lay it on you. But I just realized it was a bad look. Because I realized you was trying to use me to try to get at him. Because the things you told me here is disgusting. It was really, really bad. And I'm not here to repeat it. So I'm just going to say to Iggy, please never, you should keep me blocked. I'm not the guy you should be talking to like that. I'm not the one. And if you think I'm the one who loves your baby daddy that much, no. At the end of the day, it's Big Act. So I'm going to give you the grace once again because I actually respect him. And I think at this point you try to use me for gossip. You're trying to make allegations of a guy who's been doing good in his career. It still furthers the point that you were trying to refute. You hated, let's be very clear, you hated the fact that I was giving him credit for being successful. And I was saying to you, you might be coming across a little bit bitter with some of the comments you made. Whether you were talking about him or not, that was my stance. You gave me way more insight, telling me all the details of a personal relationship where you guys share a child that I should not know. Ma'am, seek help and seek God. If you got these real problems, don't come to a blogger. Go to the police or go to the family court. This is not something you should be telling a blogger, hoping that I'm going to. You said one thing to me. I want you to know what type of guy he is. It doesn't matter to me. I like music. I support niggas who supposed. I like music. I'm not here to support their character. You had a child with this man. And if you want me to come in between whatever familial issue you got, shorty, you got a wrong thing coming. This ain't my business. Everybody got a side of the story. I've talked to Cardi in the past. Cardi told me, he said, I don't care if people call me gay. I don't care what they say about me. He said, the only time I would ever crash out is somebody call me a deadbeat dad. That's what he told me to my face. He said, that's the only thing that matters and that affects me because I love my child. I don't care what you and him have going on as related to this kid. You chose him as a father. He chose you as a mother. That's y'all business. I hope the child is happy, healthy, and I hope y'all both provide. Please don't come to me with your misguided hate, hurt, telling me what he did, how much I don't. Oh, I was pregnant. I don't care. And I had to stop short of realizing that the disrespect that you brought to me, because I ignored it. And you remember the message you sent me after. You say, I think you said, you lazy motherfucker. You still ain't addressed all this shit yet that I done told you? Because you wanted me to bring it up. And when I seen that, I was just so shocked because I allowed it to go unnoticed. Don't tell me your secrets. I'm not here for that. I don't care what you got going on, Playboy Cardi. And I don't care what y'all got going on with y'all family. Y'all got to learn to keep y'all. You picked a celebrity to be your baby father. And he picked you to be his baby mama. Got nothing to do with me. Please don't invite me into those issues. Because you're going to realize, you're going to find out that I have the lack of concern or care that you think I would have. So please, if you got a problem with him, maybe he's playing the PlayStation with Lil Uzi, go to the cops or go to the motherfucking child support court, whatever you got to do. But please don't bring me back into that again. And if you ever DM me with anything of the sort, I'm going to start lacking the emotional intelligence that I have now to say, you know what? I'm going to give you a pep talk to say, I understand you were going through postpartum and the things you were telling me that, I have some empathy for you. So while you were wildly disrespectful, really disrespectful, you called me out of my name. You said I was only good for this and blah, 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 blah. And you try to turn me against him. Oh, you know what Cardi told me about you and Cardi hates you and it's whatever. I don't care. I don't want to be involved in you and his problems.